Hiya. I am wearing a hat for once because it is extremely hot and I've just been watering. But anyway, I thought since I've just watered, I thought I might actually do my plot tour because tomorrow is the 30th of June. Last time I showed you my space, it was the end of May. So it works perfectly that we're at the end of June and I'm showing you what the plot looks like at a time when the weather's been fantastic, extremely hot, also very dry, which means we haven't had much in way of rain. But let me turn you around and we'll start at the same spot. As usual, we are starting off in this corner where we've got our Desiree potatoes, and the Desiree potatoes flowered and now they're producing these funny fruity thingy-jiggies which never do a thing. So I've been trying to pull them off whenever I see them. But this space has been doing absolutely fantastic. Next to it and looking, oh my gosh, guys, I'm in love with this space, are my flower bed. The flower bed has actually taken off. These are ranunculus, which are due to come up sometime soon. I've got nasturtiums, gibera. I have no clue what this is called, but it's about to start flowering soon. The apple's got a couple of fruit on it and is looking fine. The onion seed is going well. Another one of these, someone tell me what they are. I have got some cosmos, and obviously we got our sunflowers, which have suddenly taken off as well, and they are facing all ways that you can see, and they're looking fantastic. I've also got some zinnias, which are starting to show their faces, just like this one here. And guys, this is my favorite flower of all. This is absolutely lovely. And that's the same sunflower as the other ones, and yet if you look at the one that is just there, it looks totally and completely different. I like the fact that the zinnias have different colors to them. So this one is a different color zinnia to the other one that I just showed you. So I've got a few zinnias in there, so everything is going to look absolutely lovely in here. Turning round, we come onto my straw beds. My straw beds haven't done as well as I wanted. I've mentioned this before. I feel like it's to do with the method of preparation that I used. Next year, I will try again with a different mode of preparation. I've ordered some seed potatoes because in one of these, I have a seed potato and it seems to be thriving very well within it. So I'm going to fill the rest of the beds with seed potatoes. I do have some beans which are doing fine. This is a courgette, which is not so great. The tomato seems to be surviving it, even if all the leaves are curled, making it rather weird. Aubergine is only just starting to take off. And fascinating though, it's fascinating to me is the fact that this was eaten to the nub, and look at it now, it's come back. I put some peas in, they've done nothing. The carrots seem to be growing. The lettuce has flowered, so it needs to come out. This was a pak choy which also flowered. The onions seem to be doing okay. Beetroot is thriving in here. So it's not the case that everything is not working out. It's just one or two things that haven't done as well as I wanted them to. Next to the potato bed is a bed that has a mix of stuff. It's got Swiss chard that has gone over and needs to be harvested, well, needs to be removed and composted. I've got the same flower here that I got from Lidl and I've forgotten the name of it, but it looks to be flowering wherever it is. I put a single nasturtium in here with the expectation that it will actually self-seed once it flowers. This is a courgette which seems to be taking off and starting to grow really well. My onions in here. I think these are my remaining Else onions from the excess I had when I, when I sold my main ones that were going to be for the competition. So I'm just going to take this onion out, as you can see. And as you saw from my video, my onions have done really, really well. So that one is going home with me. In this bed, I have my competition onions. The giant onion challenge being run by Pete Trenus. I think this time round, I'm going to lift it up a little bit so I can put you inside and show you what's in there. I've been hiding everything in here because I don't want any allium leaf miner. On the side, we've got Bedfordshire Champion, but when I lift you up and put you in there, you start to see my onions. They are massive, but I don't know how big that is because I just keep them in here and I don't disturb them other than to water them and feed them. In the same bed as the onions are my parsnips, and they are doing fine. I'm not lifting this off. My plan is to come on Tuesday afternoon and weed this bed again, but for now I'm keeping it covered. I need to source some wood chip really. In this bed are my cauliflowers and broccoli, which are not doing as well as the others. You'll see when you compare them, they're not doing well. So I think this bed is lacking something, and I think I'll try and find some blood and fish bone and give it a feed to see whether or not it will improve things in here. Going further back, this is one of my lovely square foot gardening beds. It's a fabric bag, but I love them for the fact that you can actually put different things all in one area and make it look really, really nice. So what we've got is Nagina tomato, which I broke and I thought was non-returnable because all I had left was the stalk, but it seems to have taken off and is doing really well. I've got a courgette in here, and I don't even remember which courgette it is because I got to the point where I was so tired of trying to germinate courgettes and they were not working that I just put in any courgette I found, and this one seems to have taken. Behind it, you've got sweet corn. I've only got the 8 because I don't need more than that because this sweet corn is extremely sweet. And since sugar actually gives me a little bit of inflammation pain, I try and avoid taking too much of it. So these are the only sweet corn I've got. Behind them, looking rather yellow but starting to improve, are my dwarf bolotti beans, and they are doing a bit better than they were before. I think I need to get them a bit more blood and fishbone. And when you go further back, those lovely, lovely little gorgeousnesses in the top right corner are my ochre. So I put 4 ochre in there and they seem to be doing fine, so I'm pleased with them. This bed is currently redundant. It has 1 asparagus in it, Swiss chard which has gone to seed and therefore needs to be removed, and nothing else. So I really need to sow some beetroot or some carrots in here in order that it is not redundant. When we come round to the back, this area here, remember I said I wanted to have a greenhouse here, and the idea is becoming a stronger thought in my head that we will have a mini greenhouse here specifically for seeding. But for now, I've got another courgette which was successful. Sorry, baby. Didn't mean to disturb you. You're trying to drink, aren't you? And then next to it, I have carrots and spring onions. Carrot and spring onions. And they're doing fine. They seem to have germinated. I'm not going to disturb the cover to show you simply because there's a guest over here who is busy sorting themselves out. So that's the best I'm going to show you. Over here, I think this is one of my blight resistant tomatoes, which is doing fine. Let's see. Is there a way you can move back a little bit? I need to tie it better, but it's doing fine. And I believe I saw a tomato somewhere in there. So it's starting to fruit as well. So we're doing well in there. We've got some sugar snap in here, which was given to me by my neighbor, and that's doing well as well. Although it also needs to be held up. I don't know why I think it's because it's been so windy here. It's a challenge, and unfortunately, that's why. Sorry. The other pot was pushing this pot, which made it a bit narrow, and it's still pushing it. So I will have to make sure that I sort these out so that they're not pushing into each other. Oh, yeah, that needs sorting out. Sorry, I shouldn't be. In this pot, I have a dahlia I sowed from seed last year, and it came back this year, and it's looking very, very nice. And next to it is another pot. This one is a fabric pot with a self-watering system, and it's got ochre in it, which I need to top up with soil, because according to the information I read, I will top it up all the way to the top, and then that will be it. I'll let it grow until it dies back. This is a potato that turned up on its own accord. I have no idea what potato it is, but it's in that fabric pot, and it is doing fine as well. Right, we move over to here. This is one of the newer areas where behind it's an old area in which I've got asparagus, which is doing well this year. This is the second year that this asparagus has been in this bed. So next year I'll give it another year before I then start harvesting the year after. Over here in the top tier, I've got my borlotti beans. And then in the bottom tier, I've got my yellow French beans, because I love yellow French beans. So I'm looking forward to these. I put them in a few weeks ago, and they germinated really quickly and really well. This bed was made using lawn edging, corrugated iron lawn edging, and it seems to have worked out really well. It looks like a little cake, doesn't it? So yeah, so this is doing fine as well. Next to the shed, I have a little flower pot. I'm sure this is full. Let me double check. Yeah, it is full. I filled it up the other day because it was empty. So in here, I have another sunflower, which is looking pretty, even if it's got a lot of flowers all in one area. Sorry, I was in your way. But this is absolutely lovely. And I've got my sweet peas, which I've been harvesting and taking home. This one hasn't produced long stalks of sweet pea, but I think it's because it was lacking water at one point. So that's probably why it was doing that. In this pot, I've got a fig tree, which looked like it was dead. In fact, I brought the whole pot down because the fig tree had rotted down, but I left it in there, and it seems to have come back and is doing fine. I gave it some of my rotten weed feed. I've got a drum in which I drown all the weeds, and then I use the water for watering, and it seems to be doing fine in there. I have a Nagina. No. What is it? What is it called? Not Nagina. That's the tomato. Nigella. That's it. I was gifted this Nigella, and isn't it pretty? Look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty. So it was a gift from a work colleague, and it's doing really well. In the same bed, it's similar to this bed over there, but it's got a few more flowers. The peonies are done now, but I've also got my kestrel potatoes in here. Are they kestrels that I did? I don't remember. I think they are kestrels. So I'm expecting that sometime in July, these are going to be ready to harvest. I have got one or two which are Desiree, because I had too many Desiree potatoes, but I don't remember which ones they are. And I'm sure the potatoes dying back will show me exactly which ones they are. This bed had garlic in it, which has been harvested. Plan is to put some beetroot in here next, but I need to top it with a little bit of manure before I put the beetroot in. So that's waiting for that. Over here, let's show you this actually. I've got a pond, as you know, right here, and my postman gave me a whole lot of oxygenating plants, so I'm well sorted. There's loads and loads of oxygenating plants in there. But once again, in here we have a guest. Can you see them? They are just, see them? They are busy enjoying this sunflower. They are cute, aren't they? Anyway, let's get away from them and get back to what we were doing. So I've got sunflower next to my pond, and then I've put in a few more pond plants in addition to my oxygenating plants. And although the water is still not as clear, the area where the plants are seems to be a bit clearer than the other areas. So this type of pond oxygenating plant seems to be doing really well. So hopefully it will carry on looking fine. In here we have beetroot, and then we also have more blight resistant tomatoes which have actual tomatoes on them, and I keep tying them up. I'm trying to be really good with my tomatoes this year. I'm trying to make sure that they're not overly bushy to the point of disease, and although it is tedious, I'm managing somehow. I am also trying to make sure that I keep on top of the weeds this year. So whenever I see weeds, I overseeded this. Don't know how big they will be, but this is some beetroot in here. Next to it, I've got some faster onions, which I sowed later. I actually sowed them, I think, sometime in May. Planted them out, and they're now starting to grow really big. These are onions you can sow as late as May and still get a crop for the year. I got more beetroot here. This was a beetroot tape, and I'm sold on the idea of beetroot tape because look at this. It is just lovely, 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 and it is a good size. So I'm going to keep it and carry it with me for my sister to have, because honestly I've enjoyed the taste of beetroot. Homegrown beetroot is amazing, and I think these are the biggest I've ever had, and I'm pretty happy with them. Apologies, I'm busy pulling out bindweed, because you always have to pull out bindweed when you see it. Never leave it to survive another night if you can. So this is why we do this, but that's not what we're here for, Stella. We're here for a plot tour. So let's forget the bindweed for now and get back to our tour. On this side, I've got more blight-resistant tomatoes, and one of the tomatoes seems to have quite a few. Unfortunately, I don't remember which one this is. It's got quite a lot of. I think this is the Nagina, actually, from the shape of the plant, of the fruit. I can tell that these are the Naginas. It's already flowering, and we've got trusses going all the way up, and they look like they're going to be fantastic. So as I've said in a previous video, Thursday is my weed and feed day. So every Thursday I'm feeding plants that need feeding, and then I am watering and weeding at least one bed. So that's how I'm trying to keep on top of everything. In here, I think, is my perpetual kale, or whatever it's called. And unfortunately, I put my fennel in here. This is what happens when you don't think and you're exhausted and you're tired and you decide to try and plant things up real quick. So we're between a rock and a hard place. All the lettuce has flowered and it looks quite pretty, but it all needs to be pulled out and composted. I have so much Swiss chard, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to be transplanting some of it out of here and taking it for my sister next week on Saturday, in order that she can have some Swiss chard some more Swiss chard for her garden. Can't even talk now. In here we have Brussels sprouts, which are doing fine. A lot of bindweed, which needs to be weeded out, and cauliflower, which is not doing too good. So I'm going to pull that cauliflower up because I've got other stuff I can put in its place, and I'm not willing to give plants that are not doing well a chance this year. I want my space to actually be continuously producing rather than struggling, which these ones have been. So as you can see, they've gone to flower very, very quickly. So I'm going to pull them out when I'm next down on Thursday for my weed and feed, and then I'll leave them. In this bed, we have maize. We have a calendula. Guys, I've fallen in love with calendula. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm loving it. I put in this, what is it called? Oh Lord, can I even think? Swiss chard, and it's taken. There seems to be a potato in here that I never planted, so I have no clue where it came from. The maize I'm hoping will grow, but I don't think I'll be successful with the maize. I'll be successful with the sweet corn, but I don't think this maize will grow to anything much. But the stem is also edible, so this year I'm going to try that. This Swiss chard, which I transplanted into this bed, is doing absolutely beautiful. But I really want to have a different type of Swiss chard this year, because as you can see, I have a lot of lucullus, but I don't want lucullus this coming year. So a lot of this Swiss chard needs to come up because I want bright lights. To my right is an asparagus bed in which I put some of these flowers, which are going to be coming up soon. This one is going to be the first one, and it's yellow. I wonder if they're all yellow. I suppose I've got a lot of orange, so a bit of yellow won't look too bad. But I need to get rid of this Swiss chard from this bed, and then probably I'll put in some beetroot in between the asparagus, because I gave some of the asparagus away because it was a bit overwhelming. I think sometimes when we try and actually do too much too soon, when we're still trying to prep a space, it becomes overwhelming, and then you end up doing things you end up planting things in the wrong way, which is what happened with my asparagus. My circular bed is slowly being emptied. I had garlic in there, garlic that Bethan gave me from Bethan's kitchen garden, and that has been harvested, and you will have seen that video. In here also are my Ailsa onions, and look at this one here. I don't know if you can even see it, because I can't see whether or not you can see it, but this is a massive thing. It is so big. I can't see my own hand, but it is really big. So I think these onions are massive, and I've got enough that I'll be able to gift a few people. So when my mum's going back, I think she definitely needs to carry one of these. Below them, I have my shallots, which are still growing. I don't think these shallots are going to amount to much, and I don't know whether it's the way I grew them with little space or what, or whether they're supposed to be remain small. But the shallots are not doing as great as the ones I have at home. I have one set which is growing very big, but all these are not. And in between are the lettuces, which are also going to flower. In this bed are more shallots, which are also similar to the other one. They produce right. Sod's law. Nettle. When I was trying to get to the bindweed. So I need to take this nettle out, even if it's going to hurt me, because it's dared to. Look at it. Look at this bindweed. There we go. Right, how do I take out nettle without touching it? I really dislike weeds, and I don't want to hurt myself further, but I want this nettle out. How do I achieve that? There. Stella is brave when it comes to weeds. So yeah, so I've got chives in here, and some of them have seed in them, so I really need to try and get that seed and sow them elsewhere. But I've also got a whole load of shallots, all of which have actually separated. So each one actually has resulted in quite a lot. No wonder they're tiny. I mean, this was one, and look, it's got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in one bunch from one onion. No wonder they can't grow big. They haven't got the space. Anyway, there are the peas. I've enjoyed these, and my meteors I think are ready for harvest in here. I've put them like this because of they're definitely ready for harvest. In fact, some of them are starting to dry off, so I need to get them harvested. And then on the right are my borlotti beans. In the front we've got dwarf version, in the back I have the climbing version. I added a lot more borlotti beans because I really wanted to have a good crop, enough for at least more than one meal, because I do love them. And I'm pleased to say that a couple of nitrogen feeds seem to have done the trick, and the beans are now climbing, and they've gone green where they were totally and completely yellow as the others are right now. So I'll need to make sure that I provide the others with a bit more nitrogen, in the hope that they will actually get kick-started and get going with growing. Get going with growing. That's a little bit of rhyming. Here we have sugar snap peas, and these are lovely. I love these. Every time I'm down here, this is what I snack on, and they're lovely, and they're in a bed with some leeks, and also beetroot, and some more faster onions. So this will be my second cycle of harvesting, and having done this, I think I'll try and do it again next year, where I put in some onion sets in the winter, and then do my first sowing of onion seed in about January, get them out in March, and then at the end of March, beginning of April, do another sowing of faster onions, and then get them out later, so we actually have a staggered harvest. In this bed I have tender stem broccoli, and I think I have some more to harvest, but I will wait until I was trying to avoid something. So I have some tender stem broccoli in there. There's one there, there's 2, 3 there. So, and I have also got pixie cabbage, which is not so pixie. Those massive big leaves that you see are all pixie cabbage. I can't even show it to you properly because it's so big. But yeah, so we got pixie cabbage. I love these nets, and the fact that the cabbage white have no way of sticking their bums in order to lay their eggs on top of my broccoli and my cabbage. So they keep flying around, but they have no hope at all. In here I have a few onions left, and in there, those are Elsa's that were left over as well, that are still growing. I want to put red cabbage in here, and some marathon over there, and also over there. But because there's still because there's still onions in there, I'm being held off from completing that task. I really want it done within the next 2 weeks. Reason being, I'm not going to be able to do much in way of planting or digging or weeding for at least 4 weeks to 6 weeks, because I'm due to have an operation. So I'll be curtailed in my activity, as they will say. Over here, we've already seen, and this is part of my favorite patch. I've got sunflowers facing all the different ways. I thought they all are supposed to face one way, but these ones seem to face in different areas. But anyway, guys, this is what my allotment looks like now. My husband was like, oh, it's looking very bushy. And I'm like, yes, it is bushy, because Stella has been working hard. I can't even show you properly because the sun is in the wrong direction. Ideally, I should be doing this earlier in the day. But this is my allotment at the end of June. Looking fantastic. I keep saying fantastic, Stella, but hey, that's what comes to mind when I look at it. And my favorite spot is definitely my flower bed. I'm very happy with it, considering I have no clue what I'm doing. I think it hasn't turned out too badly, has it? All right, I'll leave you here. Hope you have a good week, and happy July. Have a good one.